Hey guys, it's me. I have a different type of video for you this week. I'm going to be chatting with you today about creativity. This is my cat Maui, and that's because I've had a question recently and I just really wanted to workshop that with you. So you'll have to excuse me, I've got some notes here because I can often sort of lose my train of thought. So I will look at them sometimes to make sure that I'm on track. But yes, so I'm going to be chatting with you today about creativity, what I believe it is, how to enhance your creativity as well. So the question I got was, how can I be more creative? And I've been reflecting on that question a whole lot because I know that you can get zillions of lists of ways to be more creative, but I wanted to dive a bit deeper than that. So firstly, I wanted to share with you that I believe that we are all creative. So we are all creative in some sort of a way. But there are two main ways in my view. So there is artistic creativity, and then the other one is more innovation based. So more to do with problem solving. So think things like science and other areas like that. So I believe we are all creative in one way or another. But I'm assuming this question, because I'm an artist and an art educator, I'm assuming this question is, how can I be more artistically creative? So I'm very glad Maui's joined us for this. So assuming that that's the question, how can I be more artistically creative? There are lots of different specific activities that you can do. But no matter what activity you do or what collection of activities you do, you're not going to get very far unless you can shift your thinking a little bit. So the thing that is going to get in your way is number one, if you believe that you're not creative, like if you truly deeply believe that you're not creative, you're not going to develop because you're not going to be able to move past that. So we've got to shift your beliefs in that area. So number one, shift those beliefs. I did want to tell you a quick story actually. When I was younger, I used to study a lot of, there's a cat bottom here. I used to study and train for a lot of singing, and I really love singing to this day. I'm probably not very good, who knows, but I do enjoy it. And I remember being younger and studying singing and being in a choir and all of that, and I remember just being really hard on myself and saying to one of my singing friends, it's really hard not being good at this. Excuse me, Maui, he's biting some of my painting materials. It's really hard not being good. I feel like I'm never going to be good enough and all of that. And she said to me, Roz, there are always going to be people that are better than you. And there are always going to be people that are worse than you. And I think I was too young to really take that on board in a positive way. But I look back at that now and I think, wow, I really should have listened to her, because I stopped training because I felt like there was no way that I would be good enough. So anyway, just something for you to think about as well. So for you, I need you to shift your thinking around you not being a creative person or you not being creative enough. And I want you to actually dive into this question, perhaps do some journaling or something like that, and ask yourself what you're afraid of. So are you actually going to let your current skill level or your current level of creativity hold you back from improving? That would be really, really sad, because you're like my singing story. You're not going to improve if you're going to allow that and allow your current, I won't say limitations, but your current level to hold you back. That would just be super sad for you, and for your achievement of happiness and success as well. So ask yourself what you're afraid of. And really often this comes down to a fear of failure. You don't want to start out a creative endeavor because you might create a painting that doesn't look any good, or a fear of making a mistake. Same sort of goes with that same story that I just shared briefly. Or making a fool of yourself is another one. So, if you decided to get into, I always think of painting because that's my area, but if you decided to get into painting and sort of commit to it, get a few extra supplies that aren't the supplies that come from, you know, a $2 store, like you're wanting to upgrade a little bit, but you're worried of what someone else might think. That is super common, and I remember I struggled with it at the start as well, but I think in the end, your happiness, like, it doesn't matter because you are making art or writing poetry or whatever it is, because for yourself, really, because it fulfills you. So you need to really work on trying to let go of what other people think as well, because in the end, it doesn't matter. I think I needed to reach my age to realize that, but it's definitely true. So it doesn't matter. It's to be ignored. And then underlying all of those as well is your inner critic. So I like to call it your inner mean girl, or boy, mean boy, if you're a fella watching this. Just your inner voice bringing you down, and stopping you from challenging yourself, stopping you from stepping outside your comfort zone. And it's just incredibly limiting. That's exactly what it does. They limit you. Your inner critic will limit you. It will stop you from branching out, stop you from trying anything new. So you need to not listen to it. It's trained. Your inner critic is trained to look after you and keep you safe. And it did a great job for us when we were cavemen and women, but now it doesn't need to be so active. So you need to work on ignoring that as well. So once you've done that, once you've done all the mindset stuff, and sort of worked out where your fears lie and worked out that you can ignore them, then you can go on to all of those zillions of creativity boosting ideas that are all over the internet. There are zillions of ideas out there. I've got a freebie as well, a PDF sort of cheat sheet for creativity boosters, as do many artists and art educators. But the point is that they won't do a whole lot for you unless you can shift that underlying belief that you're not creative or not creative enough. And if you can't dissect what you're afraid of and what is scaring you away from diving further into your creativity. So that's it for me. I hope you found this helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it as well on your own social media so that I can help even more artists just like you. Alrighty guys, check you next week. New episode every Friday. Bye.